So welcome back. It's been a little over a week since I've installed the Level Up sway bar in-link disconnects on my Colorado. I actually took them to Bumpass Cove and Rich Mountain, which is actually some trails in Northeast Tennessee last weekend. Rich Mountain's around a 3, Bumpass Cove's around a 2. Bumpass Cove's pretty rocky, and Rich Mountain actually has some obstacles, not too bad, but for a stock clearance, or I'm lifted 1 inch up front. Trail Boss, of course, is 2 inches over the stock Colorado. So I mean, for that size, or that much lift, I mean, honestly, Rich Mountains, it was pretty trying, especially with the mud, but it done really good. Now the sway bar in-link disconnects, they done really well. The idea behind them is it gives you a little bit more articulation up front, and also makes it a little bit softer ride. It's almost like just airing down your tires. I do have, of course, the Ruby Trek tires, which I can air down quite a bit, and I do, honestly, on trails that are rocky. So I think I was aired down to around 25, 26 PSI. So with that actually in mind and using the sway bar disconnects, it was actually pretty comfortable in comparison without the sway bar disconnected. Very impressed. They're very well built, as you'll see in just a second as I show you the parts and pieces that came with the kit. In a minute, I won't show you necessarily the full install. I am going to show you kind of how to actually put them back into place once they're already taken out, once you already have the sway bar disconnected. They're quite a bit thicker than your stock sway bar in-links. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be stiffer. I think that honestly it softened the vehicle up quite a bit because it rides quite a bit softer, I guess, more so truck-like. I would say that there might be just a little bit of NVH going over slow bumps. I have heard just a little bit of clunking ever so often. I think that's to be expected because, again, you're not solidly bolted on as you would be. You actually are just held in with clips, as you'll see in just a second. It depends also how you have your clips placed. Now, there was one time I actually had the clips placed more upwards towards I think it's the A-arm, and I think it was actually hitting its A-arm as it articulated, going down the road and over bumps, and that made a little bit more clunking. So I readjusted that and it's made much less. It's actually quieter. So I'm actually very pleased with them so far. I do appreciate them sending this part out because it's been great for the truck. So we'll continue to put them to use. I have some more trails I want to try to actually use them on and see how it goes. So I hope you all enjoyed just kind of the overview of these and actually the trail. I actually have some trail footage from Bumpass Cove and Rich Mountain in this video. And also the other part that came in quite a bit of, was pretty handy, honestly, was their shock skids in the rear. It just made me feel a little bit more protected. I actually installed those, I guess, maybe about a month ago now, and I have used them on several different trails. I recommend both parts. Again, they're a great company, American made. They're not really that expensive for what you get. I'll put the link in the description below if you want to buy any parts from them. So let me show you what comes with the kit, and then I'll show you some footage from Bumpass Cove and Rich Mountain. So as you can see what comes with your kit, you get your in-link right here. You get these right here, which connects to your in-link, your disconnects, and you get your pins. So you get 2 sets of these, as you can see right here. As I mentioned, you will need a 22mm socket. You may need a little bit bigger. To disconnect your stock one, you'll need a 21. You'll actually need 2 21s for the stock ones and 2 22s for the Level Up disconnects. Now, I mentioned the specialty tool. Now, a lot of y'all may not have a 22 thin socket in your garage, and I did not. I actually had a thicker one. This made a world of difference. I'll post a link for the Amazon description in the below, but there's plenty of them out there. You don't have to buy a kit. If I did end up buying a kit, this actually has a 22 on one side, and as you can see, that is super thin. And that actually helps on their actual disconnect portion because the hex bolt on the other side to keep the piece from spinning is very thin. It was hard to get to, and I actually did have a little bit difficult time getting that piece in, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. But on the other side, it actually has, I don't know if you can see that, it actually has a 23. It actually comes with a nice, kit if this is what you want to get. Let me hold on a second. But again, you can get your own set or whatever set you want to get. But this video isn't about that necessarily. I just want to show you that you might need a specialty thin socket for these. So let's go ahead and get under the truck. Let's get these put back on the truck, and let me show you how simple it is to do that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get this started. So you use the 21, and we're gonna start with the top here. And you're gonna use a 10 to hold it in place. And I forgot to mention, I'm gonna do this with the wheel on. I think it'll make it easier. I think we can do it. We have to disconnect them and reconnect them with the wheel on. That's just why we're gonna do it. I think it'll be possible and make this job a lot quicker. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this loose. Okay, that came loose pretty easy. I think I had the top one off at when I done the 1-inch lift in the past. Now the bottom one may be a little bit of a different story. Oh, it went. We got it. I didn't think I'd removed that one before. That one was much tighter. It was my bad. I should probably tighten the top one a little bit more even. Well, I want to cover the camera and I apologize. Hopefully there's another angle that you can see from. If not, we'll just fast forward through this. It's the same as the top. All right, so now we got that bolt off. See how easy this comes out. We might have to lift the truck up a little bit to loosen them up from the holes. We shall see. Pins, the bottom one came out pretty easy. The top one should. Yep. All right, so there's the end link right out. All right, guys, so I always do the driver's side first. It just seems to make it easier. Or, I'm sorry, I do the passenger side first. My apologies. So the passenger side first. Just seems to make it easier, and you pull the sway bar down. Slide it into place. Okay, and don't put your pieces in yet. What you'll do is go to the driver's side and get the other bar in, and then we'll clip them all in once they're all slid into place. So let's go to the driver's side next and get the other bar in. All right, so we're on the driver's side. We'll do the top piece first, top portion. Slide it on in. Sometimes it's easier. You might need to, it's depending. And what I've decided, honestly, is to get a magic creeper for the trail. That's going to be helpful, I think, or a yoga mat, so you won't get all nasty on the trail. Let's see here, guys. Sometimes it's a little easier said than done, but we'll get it. It's not that bad. There it goes. Now, you sometimes have to pull down just a little bit to get the bar into place. And there you go. So we'll go back to the other side and bring my pieces over, and we'll go and get these clipped in to place. I'll be right back. So I'm going to put these in. The cone, this cone goes first. Let's see if I can get the focus. So put it on first. Make sure they're pushed all the way flush. Your rubber piece goes next. Then your metal washer last. There. And now your pin. And I always make sure to try to point the pin facing away from the rubber CV joint or CV boot. We'll get the top one. Quick again. Same procedure. All right, guys, it's got the first one in. It's in. You only want to go to the front. If you go this way, if you go all the way to the bottom, it's going to have, sometimes I think that's where the noise was coming from, but I don't know for sure. It was hitting, the actual clip was hitting the A-arm. I think it's A-arm. This arm up here. Now, I don't know if that's actually completely accurate. Now, these may just make a little bit of noise, just because, again, they're always kind of moving. As you know, as you're moving down the road, if you have a loose sway bar, they clunk. I mean, but these are always kind of moving. So just keep that in mind, but it's not bad. And again, it's worth it just to be able to disconnect these on the trail. Other side's the exact same. Also, on this one, this side, I actually put my, this, which comes with it, strap up your sway bar. whenever you're disconnected. It's really handy. It's got clips. When you undo your sway bar, you can clip it up with that. It's just a band. It's very handy. And it just goes in with a little bolt right there, as you can see. And that's already a pre-drilled bolt in your frame that comes on the Colorado. And guys, that's really all there is to it. We got them back in. It does take a little bit more time on the trail. I think it'll get easier just once you get used to it. But I want to show you all. Let me bring you out from underneath there. Oh. But that's really all there is to it. I mean, it does take a little bit more time on the trail. You know, it may, again, it's gonna get a little bit easier as you get used to it. But I wanna show you all the trail footage. These were very helpful. You know, Level Up, they made a really good part, and I think that they'll do wonderful moving forward. I do plan on continuing to keep them and use them. Again, thank you Level Up for these parts. They're wonderful. Again, if you wanna purchase them, I'll leave the link in the description below, and I hope you all enjoy the trail footage. So thank you all for joining along on the Bumpass Cove and Rich Mountain Drive, and also for watching the install of the Level Up end links. Very good product. I have to say that they've done very well on the trail drive, and also the shock skids I installed about a month ago. If you want to watch the shock skid install, I'll leave the link up here somewhere. And if you actually want to buy the any Level Up product, the link's down below in the description. But until next time, until the next drive, stay driven. See y'all later. Bye.